Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video will bring to you two topics. The first one is we're returning back to the topic of Erika Kirk, and that is her reaction about the criticism that she has received in regards to that famous, or I should say infamous, hug with JD Vance. I'm gonna play for you a video from her recent interview with Megyn Kelly. And one more video from that meeting, from that interview, is about a new book. Yes, because even though Charlie Kirk no longer with us, some say he is, but officially he's not. I don't think he's alive. It's just my opinion. He has written a new book. So they are now promoting this book, The Turning Point USA, and of course, Erika is going to mention the book. So we're going to look into this. We're going to hear a few words from her. And then we will go to another very interesting story, and that is the chief rabbi who is designated for Ukraine by, guess who from everyone? You should know by now, by Chabad Lubavitch. That's right. So the Lubavitcher rabbi who is in charge of the Ukrainian region is going to give you the dates when the war in Ukraine so-called ends, or certain operations will end, because he knows. And if there are any talks going on right now, it's such a theater. So even following this, I have to be honest, I'm not following those news as I used to anymore, because I believe it all has been agreed before. They may be just changing the dates slightly, but Rabbi knows, because those who create those conflicts or are very, at least very much involved in their executions, they definitely know what's the plan. So let's start with the creepy hug. You remember the creepy hug that Erika had, I said Erika Vance, oh my goodness, Erika Kirk had with JD Vance? That was strange mistake I made. Maybe it's already going to happen, God only knows. But that was just around Halloween. I'm sure many of you have seen it, very awkward. So let's take a listen to what she had to say about that interaction she had on stage while she was wearing black leather pants and she embraced the Vice President of the United States, who some say it's kind of a different orientation, or maybe two orientations as far as the preference of, you know what. But that's not my business, that's his business. But let's take a listen to what she had to say about that encounter.
Did you see people didn't understand the hug that you and JD had? They went to the weirdest places, Erika.
Oh my gosh. You guys, please. So for those of you who know me, hug is
Yes,
like,
you're an intense hugger. It's
whoever
awesome.
is like hating on a hug needs a hug themselves. I will give you a free hug anytime you want a hug. My love language is touch, if you will. But seriously, that hug. So I will give you a play-by-play. They just played the emotional video. I'm walking over, he's walking over, I'm starting to cry. He says, he's so proud of you. And I say, God bless you. And I touch the back of his head. Anyone who I've hugged that I have touched the back of your head when I hug you, I always say, God bless you. That's just me. If you want to take that out of context, go right ahead. Again, that to me shows that you need a hug more than anyone else. So if anyone...
They were acting like you touched the back of his ass.
I feel like I wouldn't get as much hate if I did that versus... But no, seriously. So now when I go and hug people, I'll bring them back in and be like, I obviously didn't give you the right hug. Like, come, let me touch the back of your head.
Go?
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Can't touch the head. What can I touch?
I know. I'll just...
Not me. I'm always like, if you touch the back of my head, I'm like, oh, she's feeling the extensions. Forgive me. Did you see people did?
So interesting, I would say, actually pretty awkward. I'm not buying the story at all. And also, as far as her hugging other people, I think you've seen already. I've showed you in one of the videos how she was embracing those who were giving her the award. It was just like a few weeks ago. So she was still doing the same. And I just want to say I am not a big fan of Megyn Kelly. I never resonated with her. So just to say it, because I'm playing the videos just because it happened that she was asked by her. And it looks like Megyn Kelly believes that the shooter really was this dude who they present to us was the shooter. Interesting, right? So let's take a listen to this book promo and Erika's response to her reaction, or what would she say, how would she react to the family of that shooter. Of course, everyone knows even before he went through trial that he is the one who did it, right? Unbelievable. If people are still buying this story, then it's their choice. So let's take a listen. New book is coming out. Another way to make money for those who already have a lot of money.
I want to ask you about the book that you're holding in your hands.
Yes, Charlie's book. I took the
Guys-
dust cover off because I carry his book everywhere. Stop in the Name of God. It's coming out soon.
Charlie's coming out with a book.
Yeah.
He's coming out with a book. Stop,
him a-
Stop in the Name of God, which is a great title. Stop in the Name of God. And what is it about?
Took him a year and a half to write it. And this book, I mean, when I'm reading it, I'm like, I did not even know you knew that. It is so powerful. Overarching theme of it is the power of honoring the Sabbath and the importance of rest. And reading this, and I even brought one of his journals with me to read out of it, because the thing that's so interesting about reading this book and reading this journal, and I know a lot of you that are Christians will understand this, they tell you that when you read the Bible, it's the living word of God, and it is. And you see the Lord in technicolor when you read the Bible and you actually understand those words. And so for me, reading Charlie's journals and reading this book, it's like he's present with the Lord, but it feels like he's still fully here. And that's what's so powerful about this book. And I watched him as a wife completely transform into he was already amazing and incredible, but it totally elevated him when he was honoring the Sabbath and when he really took that seriously, that time to rest seriously. And I just can't help but think like everything, and to go to your point of signs, I don't think anything is by coincidence, but to have this be his last book and to him totally master what it means to rest with the Lord, it's all full circle now, because it's the ultimate Sabbath where he is right now in heaven.
When did you get to read it?
When?
Yeah.
As much as I can, driving into the office or...
No, but I mean, was it written in its entirety before Charlie died?
Yes.
It was. Okay.
Yes, it was. He finished writing this, I believe, in June or July of this year.
So you had read it.
Mhm.
And
But
now
All right, so I have to make a few comments and show you something from yesterday. So let's look first at the cover of it. So here is the cover. You know what this reminds me of, guys? And I will close this video for a moment. Just focus on this hand, okay? Just focus on the hand. Let me stop sharing this for a moment. And now let's go back to my yesterday's video. It's interesting how the timeline is perfectly unfolding. So yesterday, I recorded a video about the latest cover that is titled The Year Ahead 2026 by The Economist. It's a different hand. It's not open palm, but there is a hand. Clearly, we can see it right here, sticking out. at the front of US flag and behind the cake. And someone has commented yesterday that this woman right here with long blonde hair is probably Erika Kirk. So I just wanted to point this out, even though the hand looks a little different, but the hand is there. So now let's go back to this interview. A very interesting, right? That the book was finished for sure. And yeah, amazing, just simply amazing.
What Charlie entrusted to me, raising our babies, turning point, being there for the team, being there for what the future holds. And if I had any amount of anger in my heart and spirit, the Lord would not be able to use me. And every single day, just how Charlie did, stood on stage, he would say, "Here I am, Lord, use me." And if I had that anger in my heart, that foothold from the enemy, he wouldn't be able to.
I know at Charlie's memorial, right across the way here, there was that extraordinary moment where you forgave his accused killer. And I mean, I looked and I said, that's the most powerful, strongest thing I've ever seen anybody do in my life. And then somebody helped me understand, because I thought I could never do it. I could never do it. And somebody said to me, forgiveness is an action, not an emotion. And I was like, okay, that's getting me closer to feeling like I could do it. If I don't actually have to feel loving in my heart toward the person. But I wonder, like, how do you, like, if you could say something to him, if you could, like, if you say something to his parents, like, what would it be? Would it be anger? Would it be sympathy? What would it be?
That's a good question. It wouldn't be sympathy. It wouldn't be anger. How do you put this? Anything that I could ever wish upon him or that family would pale in comparison of the justice of God. And so I would look at them almost like, I'm so glad I'm not you. I am so glad I'm not you. And I pray that, you figure out a way to be right with the Lord, but our God is sovereign, but he's also very just. We serve a very just-filled God.
That's right.
So I really have nothing to say to any of them.
All right, I think we have enough of this. It was really creepy. The acting is, it's on a different level, but still is not convincing. The tissue is growing bigger to the size of a small towel. And the choice of the outfits, black and white outfits, very Masonic, just saying. But I like those conspiracy theories because 90%, if not more of them, eventually become true. So that's what's up with Erika Kirk lately. Of course, they will never stop pushing her into people's faces. Meanwhile, no one mentions Candace Owens, who is probably the only one who is publicly trying to investigate this. She's not addressing Erika Kirk much. Yes, I've noticed. She's exposing other sides. Not everyone believes in Candace Owens, but I think she plays a role in all of this to wake up big number of people who are not aware of pedophilia, MK Ultra, what happened to the Nazis, and many things of that story, and how the governments are being run. being run. So ultimately, even if she's not bringing up Erika, maybe there is a reason for it. Maybe there is no reason, but we see. Now let's go to the rabbi. The rabbi well, he's not from Ukraine, but he is the one who controls that region. He's in charge. Chabad Lubavitch decided. He's Lubavitcher rabbi. First, I'm going to show you a brief introduction to who we are going to focus on now. And this is chief rabbi of Dnipro and Dnipropetrovsk Oblast. Born in Israel in 1965, he was sent to the Jewish community of Dnipropetrovsk by the Lubavitcher Rebbe in 1990. So who sent him to Ukraine? The one who is worshipped by everyone in the Chabad Lubavitch movement, and that is the Rabbi Schneerson, the one they called almost Messiah. He was the one who decided that Shmuel will be there, Kaminetsky. And he is also the chairman of the board of the United Jewish Community of Ukraine. So this is the current role. He's the chief rabbi of Dnipro. Background: born in Kfar Chabad, Israel, to parents who had immigrated from the Soviet Union. Interesting. Education: he studied in Israel and the United States, graduating from the Rabbinical College of America. I didn't know there was such a thing, but it looks like, wow. Community leadership: he led the revival of Jewish life in the city and is also a leader of the broader Jewish community of Ukraine. Why I'm showing him to you, maybe I show you the image. Here he is. You can see him. So now, let's go to the video. You're gonna hear this in Russian first. Well, it's not Russian. I think it's Ukrainian or some other language he speaks. And we're gonna read what he said in a summary of this video. So let's take a listen, very quick, less than a minute, and then we're gonna read it.
Как мы говорили только, что война закончится через 2 месяца. Я готов за это спорить. И если война закончится до 15 января, мы с вами встречаемся тут на Большой Лахаим. Договорились? Это с Божьей помощью, да.
Я извиняюсь, я уточню, 15 января 26 года, да?
Да.
На всякий
26 года. Мы дали чуть-чуть еще больше времени, потому что на Новый год люди будут заняты. Поэтому 15 января будем праздновать. Это будет уже после окончания войны. Как война только закончится, весь мир хороший, в хорошем смысле этого слова, инвесторы, туристы, все приедут сюда. И будет большой жизни тут. И это начнется прямо в 26 году. Я вам это говорю не как пророк, не как раввин. Это мнение тоже больших людей в Америке и в Европе, которые понимают в этом. Это не dream, и не мечта, и не молитва. Это будет очень скоро, потому что Россия это будет не южная, Северная Корея. А Украина ждет большое будущее. Unbelievable будущее. Как мы говорили.
Okay, so thank you for your patience. I hope you are patient. Now, I will paraphrase quickly what he said, and then we're going to read this post. So he said the way, and I'm paraphrasing, I don't know, I don't understand all the words. It sounded like kind of Russian to me. Maybe it was Ukrainian, I don't know, but his pronunciation was a little off. So what I understood from what he said, that like we said, the war will end by the 15th of January. And he said that after that, this is not a dream, this is not a prayer, that next year in 2026, the investors will be coming, the tourists will be coming, and Ukraine has unbelievable future. I want to address this future in a moment, but now I want to read you what this post says. Chief Rabbi of the Dniepr, Shmuel Kaminecki, made a public statement that the war in Ukraine will end by January 15, 2026. He stressed that this is not a prophecy or a prayer, but a forecast based on the opinion of a number of influential figures in the United States and Europe. So, Chabad Lubavitch, who, in his words, understand this. He expressed confidence that already after the end of the war, Ukraine would have a great economic and spiritual future, and investors and tourists would come to the country. Rabbi Kaminecki also noted that he considers this date not final. In his opinion, the active phase will end even earlier, maybe by New Year holidays. And the format deadline is designated with a little supply for the winter holidays. He described his prediction as a reflection of the views of great people in America and Europe. You know those people, the tiny hat wearers? The statement was made at an event in a business club. A video of the speech spread across Ukrainian and Russian language media. There were no examples of similar comments from Western officials on the exact timing of the end of the war. This is the result of some private information or communication with representatives of Western elites, like, for example, Witkoff and Susie Wiles and Jared Kushner, maybe, just a few suggestions. There are also parallels in the media with statements made by ex-politicians or diplomats who expressed hope for a quick diplomatic resolution to the situation, although not such statements with exact dates from Western leaders have been recorded. So guys, in a nutshell, they already know exactly what's going on. And I've recorded quite a number of videos. Please go back and check my latest videos, especially from the last month or 2 months, when I started to talk about Chabad Lubavitch and this great new Israel project, the New Kazaria, so Kazaria 2.0, okay? This is all part of this plan. That's why they know the dates, they know the regions, they know what's gonna happen. And as far as the tourist and investment goes, I think it was almost a year ago when I have mentioned that Ukraine, Zelensky to be precise, is building a ski resort very close to the border with Poland. So they are already creating the tourist destinations and the tourist industry. They have been promoting it during the war, yes, during the war, and inviting people to go and visit Ukraine. So all of this is part of this new Great Israel project. And since we are on the topic of tourists will arrive, I don't know if he means only one ethnic group of tourists, but here is a video. I'm not sure how old it is, but it could be very recent. I've showed you one video with those people arriving with suitcases, those chemadans, carrying them from the train. You saw them at the train stations in Ukraine. I showed you videos how they are celebrating in Ukraine already. So here is another video. This one is from the plane. Here we go, everyone. The so-called tourists or maybe settlers are on their way.
Why? What's going on? Everybody sitting.
Sorry for the video slowing down, but you could just focus more on the faces. So the post says, while Ukrainian men are sent to the meat grinder, Jews take over Ukraine. This is from 6 days ago. Doesn't mean this video is from 6 days ago, but I don't think it's really that old. Someone says here, they even said that they want Ukraine to be big Israel. Yes, because it's already in the making. Jules Zainski and Ukraine. 100 million stolen from Ukraine went to Israel. By the way, as far as this so-called corruption of certain people in Ukraine is going on, I think 3 of those people already escaped to Israel, and I think all of them, they already had Israelis passports. So there we go. Nothing new. Nothing new. The story continues. The plot continues. The new great Israel and the process of making. That's all I have for you today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what do you think about all of this. Very interesting, isn't it? No coincidence. And if you appreciate the content, I appreciate if you hit thumbs up. It's free of charge and it really helps with the YouTube algorithm since, you know, when I mention those topics and bring up some names, my videos are definitely not recommended. Actually, they are suppressed, and they are suppressed even for the audience who is subscribed. So if you're not checking the latest videos, going through my main page, you might not be notified and you might not see those videos being presented to you. So you have to keep on checking, opening the channel and seeing what's new. That's why I appreciate you watching. And if you have, you know, an appreciation for what I'm doing, you can always subscribe one more time. If you unsubscribe, and hit the thumbs up and leave the comment. And you can also support me on Patreon, PayPal, all locals. And before I end, I just want to say thank you to John, who donated yesterday on my PayPal. I very much appreciate it, John. Also, to those of you who have Instagram, make sure to follow me there. It's Ania K_44. Actually, let me show you my Instagram so it's easier for you to remember it. It's right here. Ania K_44. And guys, with this being said, I will show you the video that just clicked, but tomorrow. That's a different topic. Lots of love, and remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. And I see you in another video. Bye, everyone.